I first told my ex-husband that I wanted a divorce. He was in shock. So when I finally came around to wanting to divorce my ex-husband, it was November of 2020. We were coming up on Thanksgiving and Christmas and his birthday and my daughter's second birthday. And I just was like, I'm gonna wait till all those things are done. Like we get along for the most part. Like I've totally checked out, but it's not like we're like not getting along or he's abusive or anything like that. And then, man, do I wish I remember what he was upset about. So he's upset one night about something super, super trivial. Like, oh, I didn't do his laundry. Oops. Oh, I didn't do his laundry, or there wasn't toilet paper, or just something like so minute. So he we sit down after the kids go to bed, and I'm like, okay, like, we went to the couples therapy, we learned how to communicate. It's like, hey, like, something's clearly bothering you, like, what's going on? So I'm sitting there quietly, like, letting him talk. And he's like going on and on and on. I wish I remember what it was. About something just so trivial that he was upset about, and I just sat there silent. So he finishes talking, it's my turn, because that was like one of the only things I used to do. That was like my downfall, was I would interrupt during a conversation, so I was quiet. It was my turn to speak, and literally my response was, well, I guess it's time for us to separate. His response literally was, I didn't see that one coming. Like I mentioned, I had been planning on leaving him, so shortly before we separated, our daughter had outgrown her crib, and so I had already put the kids in one bedroom, and so we literally had like an extra bedroom with a king-size bed that became his bedroom. I don't really remember our whole conversation other than I just remember him like begging me to like not leave him, and I just was like, you know what, I need some time, I need some space, I need you to sleep in the other bedroom tonight. And I kid you not, I wake up the next morning to him bringing me like breakfast in bed, coffee, he had the kids all taken care of, the house was all clean, and I literally only had one request from him every single week. Was like, there was a certain day of the week where it was like in between his work days, all I wanted was for him to bring me a cup of coffee in the morning and deal with the kids, and trying to get his ass out of bed to give me a hand, he literally would like sigh and then like go and do it for me. And so for him to suddenly start bringing me breakfast in bed and coffee, I was like, absolutely not. And then again, suddenly he was like doing all this stuff around the house, and I was like, this is not okay. So I don't even think this went on for more than like 2 weeks before I just literally could not handle him trying to dote on me.
My girls were young. I got a divorce, and I was actually chatting with a girlfriend about the experience last night and my regrets of not being able to give my girls that stable, perfect family life that everybody dreams about. And there were a lot of things I did wrong. But one of the things I did right was I manned up. And I got my shit together, and I worked my tail off, and I dedicated my life to those girls and moved them from country to country until we found our stability. We spent a lot of time with my friends, both male and female, people that I trusted, people that I wanted them to look up to, and most of them are still in their lives today. Well, I know they probably feel pain, and maybe still do feel pain over their parents no longer being together. I hope that those dance parties in the living room, the walks to school, the solo trips together, the opening gifts on their birthday, specially picked out for them by mom, them watching me work and be independent and struggle and do all the things that moms need to do in order to survive. I hope all of those experiences far outweigh any pain that they may have felt. So to all those single moms out there, remember that your strength and your tenacity will far outweigh any pain that may linger in regards to your failed relationship. You've totally got this.
There's this woman on here saying that her friend divorced her husband because she was bored. She was a stay-at-home mom with the kids. According to her, he was working way too many hours, wasn't able to spend time with them, and he was always tired, so she just divorced him. Fast forward 3 years, looks like she got all of that out of her system because now she wants to settle. Basically, she wants her old life back. She doesn't want to work. She wants a man that would allow her to be a stay-at-home mom, take care of the kids, take care of the home, and again, her old life back. Her problem is that she's having a really hard time finding somebody who's willing to do that. But that's not even the worst part of the story. The ex-husband was single for 1 year and has been in a stable relationship for 2 years, and on top of that, he's taking care of his new wife's kids. Now, according to the friend of the ex-wife, the person telling the story, the woman who forcibly divorced her husband because she was bored at home was pissed because he's now providing for his new wife and kids. Now, can you imagine being the destroyer of your own marriage and then you get mad when the other person decides to move on? They had no guarantee that they were going to be able to, but they found a way. And the only reason you're mad is because you can't find yours. You used to have the life that you wanted, and you gave it up because you wanted to live a different life with or without your man. Now, I might be in the minority here, but I actually want her to find happiness. I want her to have a second chance. Everyone deserves one. She thought she knew what she was doing. She thought she was going to live a better lifestyle. She ended up eating dirt, but I don't feel like you have to eat dirt for the rest of your life. It's okay to move on from that. But that also means that the man whose life you destroyed, who found happiness, who found a second chance, he gets to move on too. And you just don't get to say that. Let this be a lesson to y'all, to take a good look at the ocean before you jump the ship.
Recently, I caught up with an old friend, and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple, and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids, and I just got lonely and bored. And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And she had other friends that had, you know, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, you know, they had a big house, they had nice things. Like, he was just trying to work. So they ended up getting divorced. And now, you know, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, she's a stay-at-home mom. They haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed, because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, you know, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick, and he didn't even want to give us another try, like, blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused, because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you're single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility? I was just giving her a hard time, not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me, because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell. And I've seen a lot of people do shit like this, where they get divorced for reasons that are not, I'm not gonna say they're not valid, because everybody's feelings are valid, but they're fixable problems. Like, I don't know if you guys have this wrong idea of marriage that is supposed to be like fun and happy all the time. It's not. I feel like every relationship literally depends on compromise. Like, you gotta compromise something. You cannot have everything. And to be honest with you, like, if she was willing to give up on him that quick, like, maybe she just didn't love him that much. Because I cannot even imagine just me being like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna divorce my husband, you know? Like, no, you figure it out, you work it out. But I could tell that she's regretting it, because what she thought she wanted is not what she thought she wanted.
The day my divorce was final, I'll never forget what my ex said to me. He looked me right in the eyes, and he said, you're going to regret this. You're going to get 6 months down the road, and you're going to regret divorcing me. And you know what? He's right. I did have regrets, but probably not the kind of regrets he thought I would. And while I don't think it's healthy to dwell on them, I do think it's healthy to recognize them and learn from them so that we don't repeat them. So with that being said, here's what my regrets actually looked like. I regret not listening to my intuition. I regret gaslighting myself. I regret not giving myself enough credit. I regret doing what I thought was best for everybody else but me. I regret not making my happiness and well-being more of a priority. And lastly, I regret not being strong enough to leave sooner. And though making the decision to get divorced was the hardest decision I've ever had to make, and it took me a long time to get there, I've never once regretted it.
Are the papers for divorce. These little pieces of paper, little flimsy pieces of paper, can break and end something that's so strong in somebody's heart.
Welcome back, family. Today we are reviewing this modern woman who tried to test her husband by divorcing him, thinking that he will beg her to not leave him. It all backfired when her husband got so tired of her childish behavior and didn't contest the divorce. Now she cannot stop crying and blaming everyone for her reckless actions. Let's first start by exposing the day she was getting ready to file.
These are the papers for divorce. And it's very sad. I don't understand how 8 years of trying my best to love somebody and fight for them and put up with so much abuse can just be wiped out with little papers. It's not easy. And as much as I know that this needs to happen, it still hurts. Because I never wanted this. I actually did love him. And I know you have to love somebody that does those things to you. I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe I see brokenness in people, and I know that we can all be better people and heal if we want to. I'm sad. It's this is the dreams I had as a family and as husband and wife, and these little pieces of paper, little flimsy pieces of paper, can break and end something that's so strong in somebody's heart. It's hard. I'll get through, but I'm sharing my journey with you guys, every part of it. Just so you know that you're not alone, and you guys make me feel not alone. So,
No, ma'am. Nobody is forcing you to file those papers. You are willingly deciding to divorce your husband. This is a life-changing decision that you are making in real time, and you have to assume the consequences. Guys, this woman thought that her husband was going to beg her to stay and accept all her needy demands if she threatened to file for divorce. Check it out.
So, day one, after filing, and I feel so sad. I know I'm going to go through different emotions, but right now I feel sad. I think the last time I felt the pain like this was when my mom died. And in a way, this is a death of hope. And I look around and I see, I just want to scream. Like, I see the Christmas trees that I put up and this beautiful home and all my dreams I had for us. I just want to scream. I just want to run away. I want to I don't want to see any of this. And it hurts, I don't want to see it. I know that this is going to be a process for me, ups and downs, and I'm sure, if y'all are probably like, Corey, smile, like get over it, you know, but this is my page to heal and to be brutally honest about every piece of this journey. So I barely slept last night. I've got a migraine. My heart's broken. And so much of me wishes that he'd be like, I'll change, I'll fix this, I love you, I'm sorry for all the things I said, you know, you never deserved it, I'll never say that again, I'll pay attention to you, I'll communicate with you, I'll lose my anger. It's not going to change. But I guess I'm somebody that will always have hope, because not always have hope. Until the divorce is done, I'll always have hope that things could change. And I guess that's just me being stupid, I'm sure many of you would say. Or maybe it's just me trying to see the good in everybody. I don't know what it is. I'm not weak. I don't know why I became this woman. Who am I? But this is where I'm at today, this morning. I'm sad.
So, let me get this clear. She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know if she made the right choice or not. But she is the first person to tell her husband how he should treat her. You just can't make this shit up. This next clip is really gonna show you how needy this woman really is.
So I saw a comment, I deleted it, but I need to respond to it. Someone asked to hear my husband's side.